Are you unknowingly holding yourself back? We all have big goals, dreams, and aspirations. But sometimes without even realizing it, we become our own worst enemies. We engage in behaviors and thought patterns that sabotage our progress. These self-sabotaging habits can be so ingrained in our daily lives. They often go unnoticed. But here's the good news. Once we identify these habits, we can break free from them and unlock our full potential. Let's talk about self-sabotage. It's a term that gets thrown around a lot, but what does it actually mean? Self-sabotage is when we actively or passively prevent ourselves from reaching our goals. It's when we say we want something, but our actions tell a whole different story. It may sound extreme, but self-sabotage is more common than you think. Think about it. Have you ever skipped a workout because you felt too fatigued, even though you know exercise makes you feel better? Or maybe you've procrastinated on a big project just because you were weak and lazy, even though you know it would relieve a lot of stress if you just got it done. These are just small examples of self-sabotage in action. Recognizing these habits is crucial. Why? Because they're the invisible chains holding you back from success. To truly succeed, we need to confront these habits head-on, understand their impact, and learn how to overcome them. So let's dive into some of the most common self-sabotaging habits, backed by real statistics, and explore how we can break free from them. Procrastination. You know this one. Procrastination is perhaps the most well-known form of self-sabotage. It's the habit of delaying tasks until the last minute, often leading to stress, rushed work, and missed opportunities. And it's not just about laziness or poor time management, it's often about fear. Fear of failure, fear of success, or fear of the unknown. Consider this. A study conducted by the University of Calgary found that a whopping 80 to 95% of college students engage in procrastination, with 50% doing so regularly. But it's not just students. Adults in the workforce, at home, or in their personal lives fall into the same old trap. When we procrastinate, we create a cycle of guilt and anxiety. The more we delay, the more daunting the task becomes and the worse we feel. So how can we overcome procrastination? One effective strategy is the 2-minute rule. If a task will take 2 minutes or less, do it immediately. This simple rule helps build momentum and reduces the temptation to procrastinate. For larger tasks, break them down into smaller, manageable steps and tackle them one by one. Also, try setting specific deadlines for each step, even if they're self-imposed. By creating a structure, you can minimize the feeling of being overwhelmed and start making progress. Perfectionism. Next up is perfectionism. A sneaky form of self-sabotage that masquerades as a positive trait. Many people believe that striving for perfection is the key to success. However, perfectionism often leads to paralysis and insecurity. When we set unrealistically high standards for ourselves, we become so afraid of making mistakes that we either delay starting a project or never finish it. Did you know that according to a study published in the Journal of Counseling Psychology, perfectionism is strongly associated with mental health issues like anxiety, depression, and stress? The pressure to be perfect can be overwhelming, and it can cause us to miss out on opportunities because we're too focused on avoiding mistakes rather than making progress. To combat perfectionism, it's important to shift your mindset. Instead of aiming for perfection, aim for progress. Understand that mistakes are part of the learning process and that no one is perfect. Practice self-compassion by treating yourself with the same kindness and understanding that you would offer to a friend who's struggling. Remember, done is better than perfect. Taking imperfect action is always better than taking no action at all. Our thoughts have immense power, and negative self-talk is a self-sabotaging habit that can be incredibly destructive. It's that little voice in your head that says, "I'm not good enough, I can't do this," or "Why even try?" Over time, these thoughts can erode your confidence and keep you from taking action. Research shows that negative self-talk is linked to higher levels of stress and lower levels of self-esteem. A study from the National Science Foundation found that the average person has around 12,000 to 60,000 thoughts per day, and 80% of those thoughts are negative. That's a staggering amount of mental energy spent on self-defeating beliefs. To counteract negative self-talk, start by becoming aware of it. Pay attention to the thoughts that run through your mind, especially when you're facing a challenge. When you catch yourself thinking negatively, challenge those thoughts. Ask yourself, is this really true? And what evidence do I have to support this? Often you'll find that these negative thoughts are based on irrational fears rather than facts. Replacing negative thoughts with positive affirmations can also help. Instead of saying I can't do this, try saying I can handle this challenge. Over time, this practice can help rewire your brain to think more positively, which will boost your confidence and resilience. Fear of failure is a powerful force that can stop us in our tracks. It's the fear that if we try something new or challenging, we might fail, and that failure will somehow define us. This fear often leads to avoidance behavior. We don't try at all, or we give up too soon. According to a survey by Linkagol, 31% of respondents stated that the fear of failure was the biggest obstacle to achieving their goals. This fear can be paralyzing, but it's important to remember that failure is a natural part of the learning process. Every successful person has failed multiple times before reaching their goals. To overcome the fear of failure, reframe your perspective on failure itself. Instead of seeing it as the end, view it as a stepping stone toward success. Each failure is an opportunity to learn, grow, and improve. Embrace a growth mindset, which is the belief that your abilities and intelligence can be developed with effort and persistence. This mindset shift can help you approach challenges with curiosity rather than fear, and it will empower you to take risks without the paralyzing fear of failure. In today's social media-driven world, it's easier than ever to compare ourselves to others. We see the highlights of other people's lives, their successes, their achievements, their seemingly perfect lives, and we start to feel inadequate. This constant comparison can lead to feelings of envy, low self-esteem, and dissatisfaction with our own lives. A study published in the Journal of Social and Clinical Psychology found that social media use can lead to increased feelings of depression and loneliness. This is largely due to the negative effects of comparison. When we compare ourselves to others, we often focus on what we lack rather than what we have. To break free from the comparison trap, practice gratitude. Focus on your own journey and what you've accomplished so far. Remind yourself that everyone's path is different. And just because someone else is succeeding doesn't mean you're failing. Celebrate your own wins, no matter how small. And remember that your worth isn't defined by how you stack up against others. Let's quickly recap what we've covered today. We talked about 5 common self-sabotaging habits: procrastination, perfectionism, negative self-talk, fear of failure, and comparing yourself to others. Each of these habits can hold you back from reaching your full potential. But by recognizing them and taking steps to overcome them, you can break free and start making real progress toward your goals. Breaking free from these habits isn't easy, but it's absolutely worth it. Remember, the journey to success is a marathon, not a sprint. Take it one step at a time, be kind to yourself, and keep moving forward. If you found this video helpful, don't keep it to yourself. Hit that subscribe button and join our community of motivated individuals. Let's continue this journey together, growing stronger and wiser every day. And remember, the only thing standing between you and your dreams is you. Break free from those self-sabotaging habits, and let's achieve greatness together. Thanks for watching.